transition. Hi, I'm Lisa. I'm an art director at Simon's Cat, and
I'm Simon, creator of Simon's Cat.
And for this film release, we want to do something a bit different, and we're going to be answering some fun questions live from our studio. And Simon will also draw some answers live for you while we're going through them. We'll start with some of the most common questions asked on our Instagram. And yesterday we asked you to submit some questions. And then we will talk a bit about our new upcoming film, which will premiere after the Q&A. So stay tuned also after the film, because we'll be selecting some questions from the live chat to answer afterwards. Cool. So let's just switch to the canvas so we can draw.
The
1 second. There we go. All good?
Right.
Ready?
Okay, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay, cool. So we received quite a few questions from you guys, and I separated them into categories. So let's begin with some questions about the star of the show, Simon's Cat himself.
Okay.
And quite a few people always ask, what is Simon's Cat's real name?
Simon's Cat's real name. Well, I'll just start drawing. Here you go. He hasn't really got a name as such, because I keep him nameless, because everyone who sees him says, oh, he's so great. If it's a boy, he says, oh, he's so great. And if it's a girl, they say, oh, she's wonderful. So everyone puts their own personality on Simon's Cat. And so I've kept it kind of nameless, really. So it can be everyone's cat, everyone's pet. And that way everyone feels that they kind of own him a little bit, which is nice. You see, he hasn't really got a name, although, saying that, he was based on the very first film I did was called Catmandu, and that little kitten there was based on my cat Hugh at the time. So I always kind of think of him as being Hugh, the little kitten. So I suppose in a way you could say his name was Hugh.
Quite a few people think that his name is actually Simon.
No, it's Simon's Cat. So Simon is the owner. That's me. So he owns the cat.
So just clear that up for the future.
Yeah.
So that actually leads on to the next most popular question, which is, how old is Simon's Cat?
Well, we've just had his 10-year anniversary this year actually, but I think in cartoon land he'd be about three or four in sort of cat years. Obviously not 10. The kitten will always be a kitten as well, so he'll always be kind of 8 weeks.
There's actually a question about the kitten as well.
Yeah. So we'll have an 8-week-old naughty kitten, so he'll never grow up. He'll always stay a small little fat dumpy cute kitten, and the cat will always be about 3 or 4 years old.
Actually, about the kitten. So someone's asked, what is the kitten's name? But it's a similar story to Simon's Cat, isn't it?
Yeah. I got a little kitten called Teddy, who's now a big fluffy black monster. But at the time when I was doing Kitten Chaos, I based the kitten on Teddy, because he was long-haired. Oh, I draw him actually. So the kitten's a bit like the cat, but he's got fluffy cheeks, and he's a long hair, so he's all fluffy like this. And because he's a kitten, he has a tiny little tail there, like that.
Oh, he's so cute.
So he's kind of based on Teddy, really.
And the first film that made with him is Double Trouble.
Yes, yeah. Double Trouble. Yeah, which was one of my favourites. Yeah.
And people asking, well, will he ever grow up? And I'm guessing in the cartoon world now.
No, because no, he'll always be that size, because it's just cute to have the two playing off each other, and it reminds me of me and my brother when we were growing up. So the older cat is my brother, and I'm the kitten, because I had an older brother, and we always used to have this kind of love-hate relationship, sort of bickering, and the tricks they play on each other is very like me and my brother. So I always kind of think of that, really. But he won't ever grow up. I mean, he might look a bit funny. If he did, he'd be he'd look a bit like Jazz, actually.
Also, really fluffy cheeks.
He'd still be fluffy, but just bigger. And his tail would be ginormous.
Bigger than Corey's?
I don't know. No, just fluffy like that. And the best thing, Teddy, my real life cat Teddy, can you see that? He's really fun because you can just scribble.
Oh, I love him. He's really cute.
And he just scribble him like this, and then because he's black, he loses all of his mouth disappears, and scribble his legs. But you're sort of dealing with the silhouette really, rather than any of the features inside, because they all just get scribbled out. Here he is, and then a huge tail, and he's like a little scribble, and then put some hairs on him, like that. Occasion hair. There.
So leading on from hairs, actually, someone did ask why does Simon's cat not have whiskers?
Well, Simon's cat with whiskers, because you're a very simple line, and the way that Simon's cat was invented was I made a little short film, and because it was I only had like a week or so to do it. I did it in like a week, and so it was whiskers would have slowed me down. So if I was drawing Simon's cat hundreds, probably thousands of times in animation, because every second you need 12 or so drawings. So if I was to do whiskers on the cat, it sort of changes. Well, one it changes a little bit of what it looks like, but also it would take a long time to sort of go through and get those done. Although saying that, I do put on Teddy because he's such a long head, scraggly cat that actually it looks quite nice on him. Because he's a silhouette, you need a little bit of extra something going on there. But with the cat, I don't tend to put whiskers on him.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
really hairy.
I keep him quite simple, and it just keeps him. You kind of, I imagine that they are there, but they're so sort of transparent that you just don't see them. But they're kind of there.
Yeah, it makes it easier for animators then as well.
Oh yeah, and also that's a good point. So when we have animators working on this, I mean, it would slow the process right down, having to do, each whisker and then follow it through. So if his head bounced, his whiskers would bounce with his head, and if he moved his head quickly, the whiskers would have to move, and it'd be a whole. It'd be hours, days of extra work. So it just keeps it really simple by not having them on there, and just keeps them really simple and straightforward.
We're just going to turn the mic a little bit up because people said that we are quiet a little bit. So do let us know if it's too loud as well.
Yeah, sorry.
So now, okay, well, these ones are great. I actually learned some stuff myself as well. And I think we'll move on to some questions about yourself. Because people had quite a few different ones. And let's start again with the most popular question is, how and why did you start Simon's Cat?
I was trying to teach myself a computer program called Flash. I've always been a traditional animator with pencil and paper and on a lightbox type thing, which is like a...
next one.
Where are we?
Yep, the next one. That's perfect.
So you'd have a peg bar like this, and then you put animation paper on, which has holes, and then they go on. Then you draw. There's a pencil there. So I was always a traditional animator doing adverts and things. But then I realised that the whole industry was changing and everyone was getting into computers, and it was quite a scary time for me because I thought, well, I don't know any computers, and I'm still doing the old-fashioned way. So I got hold of a Adobe Flash, and I started to play around with it, and I thought, to help me learn, I thought I'd give myself a little film and I love cats, and so I did a little film for myself, and I didn't think anyone would see it, and it got put on a show reel, and then from a show reel, a company asked to borrow it in America, and they put it on their website, their new website they were trying out, and then it went viral because people copied it off that website, and it went onto YouTube, and a good job it did, because I wouldn't have thought to have put it on YouTube, and then it went around the world, and here we are. So when I did this little film, it was like a little test, really, for me to help learn animation using a computer. And yeah,
that's a story short.
Yeah, and that's here we are.
Mio and Moo asked, where do you get your inspiration from?
Inspiration, a lot of it. Well, I mean, my cats. I do watch my cats, and if they do something that is quite funny or quite unique, I do think, oh, that's great. I'll have to put that into a film, which is good. And so they do influence me quite a lot. If I'm in the garden with like Teddy and he's playing with leaves and it's really windy, and he loves getting the wind because he's quite a fluffy cat. If he gets the wind in his tail, he runs around in the leaves and gets very excited. And so I can watch that and think, oh, that's brilliant. I'll have a film about a windy day and have them getting really excited. So that's a really good way of coming up with stories. Is just watching your pets and seeing what they do. And of course, that's what people love to see. Like, oh, my cat does that. So a lot of people they've watched their own cats in the garden playing with leaves and wind and everything. So it rings true with them. But some of the stories have a little twist, which is quite humanistic. So obviously he might pick up a baseball bat or do something a little bit strange, and that's just kind of out of my imagination, really. Just try to base it in real life as much as you can, but then with a twist at the end, or that makes it funny. So that's kind of my inspiration is real life, really, as much as I can.
And someone did ask before I've seen it, where we're based, and if you can hear in the background, it's actually rain. We're based in England,
Yes.
and it is raining at the moment. So if you guys can hear that.
It's been a heat wave here for weeks, and now it's just downpouring
it. So we might have left the window open, so you might hear that a little bit in the background. So the next question is quite an interesting one. Amanda Richard asked, how old Simon's cat, real life cat's doing?
How old?
How are they doing?
How are they doing?
Yes. Because I know you have quite different ones now, right? So you started with the 4 infamous ones.
Well, let's just say it. Poor old Hugh passed away 2 years ago.
I think we did an article on that on our website. So
the little kitten that was dancing on the bed, he's passed away, unfortunately, and we loved Hugh. Is he up there? Yeah, hang on, I'll grab it.
Yeah. We have a picture as well in the office, and we see it every single day. He's a really sweet cat.
I've got pictures of all of them, actually, apart from Lily. Okay.
We have them as reference if we ever need anything.
Yeah, I always got to have Hugh. This is, can you see that?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's big cuddly Hugh. He was like a huge Black Panther. He was a lovely cat. He was the cat that used to suck my ear in the morning. And when he was a tiny kitten, it was really cute. When I made the film, Kathmandu, and he's jumping all over me, that was one of the things that gave me the idea. He would suck my ear and he'd be all puggly and cute. And then he grew and grew and grew and grew until he was that size, and he's massive. And then he'd be literally clawing you in the morning. So it wasn't so much fun after that. But he was a lovely cat. And then
should I switch to a bigger view so we can show the pictures?
Okay.
Let me see.
Okay. And this is little Jess. Unfortunately, she passed away about a year ago. She was I had her the longest. She was about 17, and she was a classic lap cat. She was wouldn't go anywhere without me and would whine and whine and whine until I got home, and then she'd be on my lap and she wouldn't leave me alone. But yeah, she passed away, and then there's Teddy, which was the little cute kitten. He's still alive, so don't worry, it's not all bad news. And now he's grown into a huge bear. There he is, like a lawn lion there. He's lovely because though he's black, he goes sort of like a foxy reddy colour in the sun, and he loves the sun. And then there's Maisie, big Maisie. She's still going. We haven't got a picture of Maisie, unfortunately. Oh, there's some thunder for you. Some London thunder. I can draw you Maisie. She's a lovely big.
Let me switch. So I'll show. Oh, just one sec. Let me just switch the canvas so you guys can see. There we go.
Okay.
Ready.
So Maisie, you might recognise Maisie from the films. Well, I've put Maisie into the animations now, but she is got big fluffy cheeks, but sort of like a different kind of fluff. But she's really big. She
was in Tough Love, the film, one of the Valentine's films.
Yeah. And I try to keep it quite real to life. She's a huge cat. Although she's a queen, she's ginormous. She's the size of a tom, really, and probably bigger. I mean, all my tomcats, she's been bigger than all of them, even Teddy. She sort of dwarfs. And she was a rescue cat from Stray Cat Rescue, and she's just been absolutely ginormous. And everyone loves Maisie because she's so beautiful. She's got she's basically a spotted tabby, so she's got the little M-shaped mark there on her head and the little mascara lines that most tabbies have. And then she's got stripes like this, but she's also got these big spotted stripes like that. And she's lovely sort of rabbit grey with brown fur underneath. So she's really pretty. Everyone always remarks on how beautiful she is. She's got a little white front and she's got white feet. And actually, asking how she's doing, she's had a bit of bad luck recently because I took her to the vet yesterday because she's got a nasty there was a nasty cut on her paw where she's had a run-in with a big mean ginger cat outside, and I haven't put him into the cartoons yet.
Yeah, I have a design for him.
Well, I can draw him.
It's never before seen designs now.
Well, he's the strange thing about him is he's got a limp. His back leg is kind of his back leg is sort of quite limp, so he has a lot of limp, and he lives at the house up the road. But yeah, he's causing a bit of trouble at the moment. So there he is, and he's ginger.
It's really cute.
So she's better now. Now her paw's better, and now so that's Teddy and Maisie, and now I've got two new cats. One of them is Poppy, this is little Poppy, and again another little black cat. I'd like to do our bit for the old black cats, poor old black cats. So that's Poppy, and she's absolutely beautiful. Beautiful little, really sleek, really sort of, she's so sleek and slender.
She's really cute. I liked her from the Simon Draws Black Cats.
Yeah.
Because we celebrate the Black Cat Day, and she features in it quite a bit.
Yeah, she's so a whole different shape to the other cats. She's got just little tiny, there's hardly anything of her there. Just very, very slender. And when I went to, again, Stray Cat Rescue to get them, she was a mother and she had a kitten. And I couldn't really split them up because they were both in the same pen. And so I ended up taking the kitten as well. And again, she's beautiful. Her name is Lily. Little eyelashes. All the little girl cats have eyelashes.
It's a must.
But he doesn't. And then little Lily, she's really pretty. And she is a classic tabby. So she's got that lovely classic tabby markings, which is very thick lines, and then one of them goes into a great big curly bullseye like this on the side. So if you've got a tabby cat at home and it has these gorgeous, great big fat black stripes, then you've got a classic tabby.
I actually learned about tabbies from a video that you made about how to draw the different types of tabbies.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it's more than one.
Yeah, well, it's great. I knew there were different types, but I didn't really know what they were called. So it was really nice. It was really good to sort of look them up and then learn it by drawing them. So this one's the spotted tabby, like Maisie's the spotted tabby. This is the classic tabby with the great big thick lines. And the other one is the mackerel tabby, which is kind of like this cat here. So he's got very thin lines, a bit like a mackerel.
Look a bit like a tiger.
Yeah. So, and all tabbies have quite thick lines on their tails. But if you've got one of those, yeah. But yeah, this is a classic tabby. So she's lovely. There she is. So that's Lily. Yeah. Yeah. They're the two new ones.
Plenty more inspiration.
Yes. Lovely.
Great. So I think it's time to move on to show the film. Because thank you for all your amazing questions. We couldn't answer all of them due to time constraints, but there have been loads. While you're watching the film, we'll be also collecting some questions from the comment section, from the chat. And now basically the time that you've all been waiting for. It is our new film, and it's called Borderline, and I hope you guys like it. And it features a brand new character, which I will not spoil for you, but we will stay tuned and we will talk about it a little bit, and we'll have definitely a Q&A, or we'll definitely read some of the comments that you guys sent for us. So just, one sec.
Okay,
I'll put it on.
Go.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the film. So I think what inspired you to do jazz? I think that's the first question everyone will have in their mind.
Jazz. Oh yeah, I like jazz. Jazz is again a real character. All these cats are basically real, based on real life. And where I used to live, with a tiny little garden, Jazz was the neighbour's cat, and he was a big black and white. Can you turn it up a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
A bit a better.
Is that better? Cool.
And then he was the neighbour's cat, and he was a big, fluffy, long-haired cat who was really grumpy, and he would always chase little Jess, my cute little Jess here. So she absolutely hated him. Oh, there, they never got on, and I don't know, because she was a tiny little girl cat. I think he used to bully her. So I always thought, well, because I use all of my cats as a kind of reference for Simon's cat. So I thought, well, he can be the nemesis of Simon's cat. This big, fluffy, kind of bad-tempered cat, and he was black and white. So in the cartoon, when I get to draw him, I give him colour, but I've made him grey rather than black, because black is quite hard in colour to sort of to get across. He's a kind of a dark grey in the comics and the books, but there he is. He's kind of like the grumpy neighbour cat, and he's always moaning about the territory, which I've done in my mind is kind of like a little scratched line which he draws across the garden as a sort of way of saying, this is mine, keep off. And yeah, he's great fun to draw, but he's based in real life. And ironically, Maisie, the big grey tabby cat, she used to love Jazz. I got up one morning at 5 and looked out the window, and Maisie was jumping all over him, playing a game. She's a bit rough. She's a bit big, but she used to love Jazz. So I don't know. Maybe Maisie could be Jazz's girlfriend. I'm not sure in the
That'd
films.
be really cute.
Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see. But that was really surprising to see that. And Jazz was just sort of laying there, and she was jumping all over him. But,
yeah, I think Maisie's one of my favourites.
Yeah. So she loves Jazz. So yeah, that was quite fun.
Should we take some questions from the live chat?
Yeah, let's do it.
So the first one is from Clueless Gamer 123, and he's asking, do you usually stream? I've been following this channel since 2012 and never seen you stream. Guessing it's the first time.
Yeah, this is the first one.
Yeah, I think I quite like streaming. It's nice. It's nice to be able to answer your guys' questions live, and obviously to see you draw, which is quite incredible.
Yeah.
So next one is from Megan Becker. Do you really have a gnome and a pond in your backyard?
Well, funny you should say that. I mean, I love wildlife. I've just made a new pond. I've got 3 ponds now, so I'm trying to get some wildlife. You know, the poor old frogs, especially in this heat. So I'm very conscious of ponds and frogs and toads and newts and things. So gnome, I haven't actually got a gnome, but I've got 3 ponds. One of them is actually just a dustbin lid like this that I put into the ground, and I've got an old tile and put that over, and there's 2 little frogs in there already in this heat. So that's working really well. Give them something to hide under, and that's just in the undergrowth. And I love a good pond.
The next one is by Sophia Spielt, and she's asking, who's your favorite character to draw?
Oh, it's between Jazz and Teddy, but I think probably Teddy, because you can just go crazy with Teddy. You try this at home, just go crazy. See, I don't even need to look. I can just do it like this. Look, Whee! So he's just crazy, and you just scribble, and do a rough kind of outline, and then some thin legs, And there he is, Teddy running in the rain. Yeah, he's great fun to do. He's a scribbly. Yeah.
You can't see Teddy in our films, but you can see him in our apps and games.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's in the apps, yeah. That's the lovely thing about the apps. I can put all of my mind into the apps. So all these characters that haven't sort of got their place in the films yet are all in the apps in the background and everything. So that's really, really great to do. Put all that love in there.
So the next question is by Flay Member, and they're asking, they're saying first, love from Seoul, Korea. And the question is, do you enjoy other art activities? Do you have other styles of art you enjoy outside of drawing and animation?
I do. I paint little soldiers. I spend ages painting little soldiers and researching them and learning about them and learning about history and painting lots of little details and quite nerdy stuff, really. But yeah, that's what I enjoy doing that. Yeah.
Great. So the next one is, I know there's been actually a request to draw some dogs, I think. I'm just looking for it.
Dogs.
But I was going, and kind of goes with by Queen Alexis' question, are you planning to create new characters?
Yeah, I'm always...
So maybe you can go with dogs.
Yeah, this is Oscar. He's my sister's dog. There he is. And he's a little Jack Russell. And I used to draw him in Christmas cards. When I give my sister a Christmas card or birthday card, I'd always draw the dogs in there. And I got to sort of really like them because she's got a couple of these little Jack Russells. And then I thought actually he'd be a great character in Simon's Cat. So I sort of thought, well, why not? And so he became Simon's sister's dog, and it'll again, real life, can't go wrong. And there he is. And more recently, I've started doing a pug. And this is the pug. Pugs. I saw a picture of a pug, and it made me laugh. And I thought they are such great characters. Big tongue, and I just thought I've got to get a pug in there as well because they are so cute. Just such funny characters, just the way they are, just the way they sit and they slobbering everywhere, and you know, make them funny, give them tiny little legs and a little fluffy tail. Yeah, and so I'm getting quite into drawing dogs actually, and so you might see some more dogs, and they've got a little mole. Put a little mole on. Some dogs have that little mole, don't they? So I always try to put that in there. Of course, drawing in black and white is quite funny because obviously some of these dogs have dark faces and stuff, especially little pugs. There. Just pleased to see you. Yeah. So we'll be seeing some more dogs soon, hopefully. Yeah, I love dogs.
Yeah, they're really cute. I love the pug. Sir Royston.
Sir Royston, yeah. And this one's Oscar, the other one.
Another question is actually about voice acting. Anastasia Zemtseva asked, are you the only one that does the voice acting?
Yeah, well, it happened by accident, really. Because when I made this first little film, again, the Kathmandu film, I tried to put some noises on using real cat noises, and it just didn't work because it was, you know, there's a very limited sort of library of cat noises, and they just didn't work. So I thought, well, this cat's got so much character. He's actually acting and he's doing all these things, and you can see his mind working. And so I thought, well, I'll have to sort of give him some voices myself. So I thought I can do that. I'm quite a shy guy anyway, but I thought I can do this. So I just started messing around with noises, and having cats all my life, you get to know the noises they make, and then it just sort of came, just started to do it, and I think that was one of the reasons it did quite well, because everyone could go when they got hungry, and it helped.
It's like a classic.
Yeah, it just helped, and then so from that, when I did the next film, I thought, well, I've done the cat, and the kitten was hard because obviously he's high pitched. So then I gave him an actual noise to make. So I just gave him mew. So he actually says mew when he meows, and that helps me to go high pitched. And then we also pitch it up a tiny bit, so it's a bit higher than I can go to get away from my manly voice. So I will pitch it up a little bit higher to make him smaller because he's tiny, and so from that it went on and on. So the latest one was Crow, doing all the crow noises, and Jazz was interesting because obviously he sounds like the cat, but I made him more grumpy and sort of more mumbly because he's just not happy, was always groaning and moaning. And then we kind of pitch it down a bit as well, just to help give it some bass. And so he's got his own character, but I think it works. He doesn't sound too similar to the cat, because you don't want all these characters, because it's me doing all the sounds. You don't want them all to become one, so you have to have them all differently. But sometimes when I'm doing it, and I'm doing Simon, who's a bit of a hapless fool, who's going ooh, ooh, ooh. Sometimes the cat can make a noise that sounds a bit like Simon, so we have to be very careful. If the cat's thinking, he's going and it gets too similar to Simon, we have to keep an eye on that and make sure they're all different. So and the birds were a challenge, but I managed to pull it off in the little movie we did.
The Crow?
No, the birds.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I managed to do the little chatting birds.
I really like that scene.
So but I enjoy doing the voices. It's and also it kind of puts my mark on it as well. Puts my mark on the films. It's quite nice. It's sort of so they all come from the same place, from the same world, sort of thing. Me doing it all.
Brings them to life.
Yeah,
with all the sounds.
There's going to be one or two. I imagine it's going to be quite hard. Female characters are quite difficult, but we get around it by pitching up the levels.
The little girl must have been hard.
So so we just pitched her up
I think one of the final questions was actually about the merch, and we'll post the link in the description, I think, or in the comments, so you can check that out. I think we have an amazing shop. We have loads, and the pattern you can see behind us should be featured in some of the products as well. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's our wallpaper.
But I think that's it for today. I think we answered quite a few questions. Got through quite a lot. But let us know if you want to see more live sessions like this again with the upcoming films. And I hope you enjoyed the new film with the new character. And it's basically a first one out of a series of films. So stay tuned, because there'll be another one releasing next week, I think. And then another one. So Jazz does not give up so easily, as you saw in the film. So to make sure that you hit that bell button to actually be notified for the next film, because I don't want to miss it. It is amazing. And and also subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out. There's a team of really hardworking animators, and we put our heart and soul in every single film. Yeah. And thank you very much for tuning in.
Thank you.
Yeah. And that's us.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, now how do I turn it off? See you guys.